pleased to be asked to chair this launch of the 70th anniversary celebration of the Faculty of Agriculture. As I said, the opportunity brings me emotional time that I had here as a student activist. 70 years a long time. I am now almost 83. And in 1962, to the faculty, 18 young people, including myself, making 19, started the Faculty of Agriculture. So one may ask, I am told the theme is celebrating 70 years of KNUST global impact in agriculture, global impact. So I asked myself, this village boy from Efijasi, what has he got to say? But the formation that I have here from St. Augustine's and here made me something else. To the extent that sometimes I don't know whether I'm an agriculturist or a politician or a foreign affairs specialist or whatever. But whatever it is, I owe a lot to this great institution. I do not intend to come back to give any chairman's closing remarks. So let me tell you what I was originally asked to do. I was told I was to come here and sort of reminiscence with some of the things that happened here and where we are now. As it turned out to be, the Vice Chancellor and the Dean and said I should be the chairman. And so there's a little place in Kofridia, my hometown, where it's called Betum, to where the Betum. And so therefore, what I had intended to say really was the fact that when we came here, we had a band of very dedicated lecturers and administrators. As I stand here, I am alive because I was saved by Dr. R.P. Bafo. That was the time when the ruling government of Kwame Nkrumah had decided that we shall have a one-party state and one life president. The students at that time were the only voice that stood up. And so the Preventive Detention Act was put against the chairman. The secretariat of the National Union of Ghana Students was in tech because there were only two universities. Cape Coast was a college of the University of Ghana. Why am I saying this? When I left here as a village boy to Accra, then I was nominated for a course for the FAO, United Nations, in Rome, then in Netherlands, and then in Sardinia. And apparently, I did not know, but what I had been taught here and the way I presented myself was so good, I became the darling of the professors and the various senior officials of FAO who were there. So when they advertised for the post of economist to come to Rome, I had not even finished my master's. I'm told by the Professor Bullitt that they had over 1,000 applicants, they needed only one position. And so the chief of Africa said, I want a good African young man who is dynamic and things. And Professor Bullitt, who was the professor of agricultural economics from Hawaii, says, There's a young man called Hakman Uswajman. I'm told he's at Agric College. He should be finishing soon. He's the one to take. This is the story I was told. So after that, there were no interviews, there was nothing, and I was taken. But the point I'm trying to stress here, that before even I got the master's, what I had been taught at Tech, at the Faculty of Agriculture, was so good that apparently I made an impact. And so then I tried to do the master's. They said I needed 2 years. But believe you me, I joined in September, interest, working there, working as a representative for Zambia, Zimbabwe, Malawi, and in charge of assistance to the liberation movements of Southern Africa, i.e. ANC, SWAPO of Namibia, and all these other things. Then from there, they said I should go to West Indies. There had been no black person, African, who had served in West Indies. So I was posted to West Indies, and there I was responsible for Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, and Suriname. And everywhere I went, the impact, I think that I left there for the United Nations and for FAO was such that it always came in for mention. So if I pay tribute in this testimony to the distinguished lecturers, some of whom I saw here, I saw my little boy, Trian, Professor Trian, he was there, he was a couple of years behind me, and all of them, then it means therefore that the students of this faculty, you should feel privileged and make sure you link up with the professors so that you get what it takes. I could hold myself against anybody. And I remember my good friend and my brother, Dr. Friya Kuto, also Friya Kuto, when he joined the Ministry of Agriculture, at that time I was working for FAO. We came here and we wanted to do a sector study of the agriculture of Ghana. And he was a young man who had just graduated from Legon and was there in the ministry, and he participated in it. I was also the manager for the team that came from Rome. But we got a company called Nathan and Associates from America. So to cut a long story short, I just want to say that if you are celebrating, at least through me, and I think subsequently other people who joined us later, that we have made an impact, we have. And here too, we have done what we have to do. I remember going to Suriname, far away Suriname, to give a lecture. And I got there, huge in the president, everybody was there, it was big. I was a little bit nervous. Then I saw a tall white guy standing there. I said, look, this man looks familiar. Then I went there and said, are you Professor Ronald? He said, yes. You are Tech? He said, yes. Then I said, well, you are my professor in agronomy. Oh, okay. Then everybody, then they said, well, because of that, instead of the president chairing the whole thing, they asked Professor Ronald to chair, because I was giving the lecture and he was a chairman. Of course, he started by saying that one of the most brilliant boys he had. I said, no, you are right. As well as encourage the distinguished professors and the alumni that it's a privilege to be in this institution. And what you have, if you really do the way you are asked to do, you go from being a farmer to be this and that, eventually to be foreign minister and this and that, all because I owe it to this place. And so the alumni office, I would encourage, I think this year, Oberko and the distinguished Vice Chancellor to pick it up. You have something to showcase to the world. Don't feel shy. Don't feel shy, because there are a lot of people I know, especially through our network of the strongest women, who have attacked and who have distinguished themselves excellently. And that's what you are supposed to produce. People who can deliver, people who make a contribution to their nations, people who would, the final analysis, say that I am what I am because of where I have been. And then here you are taught not only to constrain yourself with that, but to go forward. On that note, Madam Vice Chancellor, I told you I was not going to be formal. So my testimony, which I was supposed to give, is what I've given. I don't intend to give any closing remarks. I just say, please, young people, be dedicated, be committed. And if you do that, as was said by, I think was Mr. Obekun, that this nation will still have to develop on the wings of agriculture and agricultural processing. I am sure my distinguished brother, his mother is from Florida, so it's my brother, distinguished brother would also say what it is. And Ghana is what it is because of the quality of material that is produced. So I wish you all the best. And if there's anything that those